Hello everybody and welcome to Wine on Maine's Wine Quickie of the Day. Today we are talking about how to store your wines, and this was a question sent to us by Miss Susan Stewart Rhodes, and she wanted to know what is the best way to store her wines and at what temperature should she be storing her reds and her whites. I think it's important to know first of all that most of the wines that you find in today's wine market are meant to be consumed within the first 1 to 2 years after purchasing it. Now, a recent study shows here in the United States that the average consumer is drinking their wine in less than an hour after purchasing the wine. And I think that is why we see so many wine racks in kitchens and in living rooms, which actually might be the most terrible place in the house to be storing your wines. Now, if you are just purchasing your wines at the local wine shop and you intend on having guests over in the next day or so, and you're putting in that wine rack to kind of show off what you have purchased and the wines that you'll be serving for the dinner, I think it is absolutely acceptable to keep those in the living room and the kitchen for that short amount of time. But if we're going to be keeping our wines for more than a week, then I think it's time to start thinking about keeping them somewhere other than the kitchen and the living room, and I'll tell you why. You'll notice that most wine bottles are very dark in color, and that is because wines do not like light, especially sunlight. So we need to store them somewhere that is dark. They also, wines do not like a lot of vibrations or shaking. And third, they do not like fluctuating temperatures, especially extreme hot or extreme cold temperatures. And they need to be somewhere where they can stay a little bit moist. That way, if there's a cork, that these wines aren't dry, the cork's not drying out and the wine is becoming oxidized. So where can we store wines practically in our house? I would say that a very, very good place is your closet, preferably your least used closet. Just take the wines, keep them in the box that you purchased them in, and shove them into the back of the closet and throw some clothes over the top. And this way they stay dark, they stay cool, and they stay kind of unbothered, and they stay safe from children and things like that. Now, you will say that if the wine has a cork, you want to kind of store it at an angle or maybe on its side to keep that cork moist. If you are spending in that $15 to $30 price range on wine and you are going to consume it within 1 to 2 years, I would say rather than going out and investing in a big wine refrigerator or building yourself a cellar, I think it is completely acceptable to just take that wine, if it has a cork, and put it upside down in the box and shove it into the back of the closet. Now you'll have to know that all that sediment is going to go to the neck of the bottle, and so that when you go to serve that wine, you're going to have to maybe decant it or run it through a filter. But an $8 filter, $20 decanter, I think is a lot more practical than maybe going out and spending $200, $300 and more for a wine refrigerator or a wine cellar. Now, if you are obviously if you are a wine connoisseur and you are buying very expensive wines to age for years, such as Barolos and Bordeaux and Barbarescos, then we need to think about investing in a wine refrigerator somewhere that's really safe, and it's something that's going to protect that investment. If you ever have any questions about how long you should age a wine or how you should be storing the wines or the temperatures that you should be serving wines with, and you're confused, please email me, call us here at the shop. We'll be happy to go through it. Make sure you join us for our wine classes. We cover a lot of these things in the wine classes. We have one coming up here on October 29th, so make sure you come out for that. Again, I am Eric Tansey from Wine on Main in Clayton, North Carolina. Until next time, folks, cheers.